have Sister Alicia, Paige-Dominick. We have Sister Priscell, Holman, and we have Sister Naomi, who's going to assist and moderate. Would you guys give them a good, so graceful welcome? And honor the Lord for the gifts that they have. They are all stunning. They are all stunning, but I want you to know that there's depth to what they have to share on today. So would you receive them as they chat with us today? God bless you guys.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have been enjoying myself. This is just so wonderful, seeing women of God together, encouraging each other, receiving the word so that we can go out and pour it out into this world. Amen? Amen. So I'm here with these beautiful women of God, Miss Priscell, yes, and Miss Priscell, beautiful name, and Miss Alicia. Okay, great. So we're going to start off. This segment is called Shining from the Inside Out. And so I want to read a scripture, if that's okay with you all, before we start. Okay. So 1 Peter 3:3-4 says, "Do not let your adornment be merely outward, arranging the hair, wearing gold, or putting on fine apparel. Rather, let it be hidden person of the heart." So in the person's heart, with the incorruptible beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is very precious in the sight of God. So I would like to start on my left side first. Can you please tell us a little bit of your testimony and briefly share on how God got you into the image and beauty world?
Okay. Good morning. Well, is it still morning? Okay. Good morning. My name is Priscell Holman. Everyone knows me as Pep. I'm also known on social media as the Model Citizen. I served in the United States Army for about 14 years. So I did that for 14 years. And then I also, I'm a published model. And I have IMBD credits for wardrobe. So I worked on films. I've done a lot of things. But I always kept God first. Right? And so I feel like keeping God first enabled me to be put into positions, right? Yeah. So, like sharing a makeup trailer with Kimberly Elise, that blew my mind. But then when I think about it, I'm like, but these are the things you prayed for. Right. These are the things you prayed for and believed God for. Yeah. So, I was a wardrobe stylist for some time, and I got a chance to really, really work in that field. And right now, I am a bridal coach. So I know it's something, yeah. So it's something different, right? God took me in a totally different direction. I work for a healthcare company during the day. Don't quit your day job just yet. Don't quit your day job. So I work for a healthcare company during the day, but my LLC is called Boss Bride Official, and God gave me this idea because when I was going through my wedding planning process, I have never been more broken down in my whole entire life. Wow. I lost my dad within like 90 days of walking down the aisle. One of my aunts took the picture that I was going to wear my wedding dress. She took a picture of me and she posted it on social media. And this just destroyed me. So I had to get another dress. I had to rebuild myself, right? And so, of course, everything was better than I expected. The wedding went viral, over 1 million and something hits on social media. We've been published in different magazines from the wedding and this and that. And so I'm not saying that because it's not about the wedding. It's about the marriage. But it's about how God will take you in like the worst moment, like in the worst moment when you've been like humiliated, He will literally bless you. But He'll bless you in front of other people so that they can see you and say, man, if you, there have been at least 4 women who were at my wedding who are now either married or engaged. And that was the prayer, right? I said, God, when I walk down this aisle and other women see me, I want them to feel like this can happen for them too. Yes. And so God has been able to bless other women through that. So Boss Bride Official is just my way of coaching other brides through their wedding and learning how to to basically be a bride from the inside out. It's not always about the flowers and the dress and all of these other things. How are you treating your mother-in-law? How are you treating your sister-in-law? You know, you want a fantastic wedding, but you treat your mother-in-law like trash. You don't even hug and kiss your father-in-law. You don't even treat your brother-in-law great. So these are the things that I'm coaching the brides on and telling them how to keep God first and just shine it from the inside out. And I want to pass it over.
Oh, you're doing
I was just sitting here thinking like, oh my God, it could go on and on because you just have so much that you're grateful for. And I'm listening.
Go
I'm
ahead.
like, I don't even have to talk. I'm just going to listen to her.
No, this is good. Go ahead, Alicia.
Awesome so far. I'm just like, okay. I'm like, good morning, ladies. Everybody looks so beautiful. When I first walked in, everybody just greeted me with a smile. And I was like, wow, like, not that I expected anything else, but, you know, just to get that, it just kind of, I'm in the right place, you know? So, my name is Alicia. I am 33, and God allowed me to become a business owner almost 5 years ago. I actually went to school to be a pediatrician because I just have a love for children. Like, that was actually my first job, was a daycare. But you know, God had a plan that I couldn't see just then. I started off going to school. I completed 3 years at a university in biology and pre-med, and all throughout, I just want everyone to know I'm a cosmetologist, and I also do makeup. All of my friends would say, oh, you need to just go to school and be a cosmetologist. And I was like, girl, I ain't about to do hair the rest of my life and this and that, this and that. And I grew up Catholic. Like, we went to a Catholic church. And so I didn't know, and this is not any offense to anyone who either is Catholic or practicing Catholic or Catholicism or have. It's just that when I was younger, I knew God had something on the inside of me. Did not understand it, but I remember being a small child knowing, and I'm tearing up right now, because I knew there was something greater. My mother, she loved God. She knew Him when I was little and stuff like that, but we just did not know. I never opened a Bible in Catholic church, so it was just so much that I was missing. And you know, all throughout my life, you know, I was a fairly good kid, you know. We're not perfect, but when I got to college, I had a roommate, and she pushed me. She was like, you need to go to cosmetology school. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired of hearing that. I don't want to do that. You know, I want to be a doctor. I want to help children feel better. And I would tell everybody I have a gift, but I didn't have the passion for it. So one day God woke me up and was like, go enroll in cosmetology school. And I knew it was Him because if we all know God and how He operates, it's always something that you don't want to do, but you know you have to. And I went, y'all. I enrolled. I had a horrible situation with the college that I went to. I chose, and you know, you can either think two things at that point. You can think, this is not for me. Like, maybe this is not what God wants me to do. And then it's that thing that, you know what, this may be the devil trying to put a block in front of me, and I know I need to hold fast to what I know God has for me. Now, at this point, I had gotten rooted into a awesome ministry, got my foundation. I really learned who God was. I knew what He could be to me. I knew who I was and whose I was. And out of that, I mean, certain family members have come to God, not because of me, but God placed me where He placed me for such a time that I could be a light. Like the last speaker was saying, you can be a light in a Bible that people don't have to, you know, open a Bible, they can see you and see your light. And God was blessing me so that it made people be in awe. Like she was saying, it's not that you go through things you do to get any glory, but God will use your life and your situation to help draw people to Him. He said, if I'll be lifted up, I'll draw all men unto me. And I think that He used me in that season of my life. And I'm a fast forward here. So God always had favor over my life. You know how you just kind of feel like, you know, it's not fair. Every job I was on, I became the manager.
Amen.
You know, every group or anything I was in, they always wanted to appoint me president, and I was just like, I'm like the background chick. I'm like, I'm good. Like, you know, I was so honored when Pastor Ann asked me to do this because it was something new for me. It was a platform experience that I never got a chance to get, but I am just so honored. And this is just like, you know, the beginning, I know, but I went to 3 different cosmetology colleges. Now, some people would have been like, you know what, I'm going to just go ask for my job back, my management job back. They have pretty good opinions, you know, whatever. But I kept pushing, had some things to come up with State Board, because, you know, you can register and do things through State Board, and it's connected all across. So even though the school I went to was like outside of Hammond and Baton Rouge, I tried to move back home to go to school to the Paul Mitchell located in Slidell, and they said, you have a hold on your account. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, this must be some of the stuff from the past, you know, the past always. So the lady that I spoke with, she was very, very sweet, and she told me, she said, I'm going to look into it. I'll get back with you. But what school did you want to go to so I can, you know, try to see what I can do for you? And I told her, well, I was trying to go to Paul Mitchell, you know. I don't mind if I have to start over, because I had completed almost like 700 hours, but, you know, I had to start over. But that was okay. That was okay. I remember just praying. I said, you know what, Lord, if this is something that you want me to do, I know you're going to make a way. And he did that, because about 2.5 months later, I called back, and because I was driving, I remember driving and pulling over because the Holy Spirit quickened me and said, call State Board. And I was like, what am I calling State Board for? I didn't pay these people. The other school said I owed them money. I was like, I ain't got no money. So I was just like, Lord, so when y'all, I'm telling you, when God speaks and you know it's him, that was crazy. I was just driving down the street and the Holy Spirit said, pull over and call State Board. I'm like, I'm trying to go get some lunch. So I pulled over, I called State Board, and the young lady that answered the phone was the same young lady I had spoken with previously. She said, Alicia, Paige, I remember you. She said, hold on just a second, let me see your status. Put me on hold. And I was like, she came back to the phone and she goes, Miss Paige, I don't know what happened, but I remember your situation from when the last I spoke with you, but for some reason, whatever it was, I don't see it anymore. And what was that school you wanted to go to? Paul Mitchell? Oh, I know the director there. I'm going to call her right now and tell her you're coming up there. Not anything I did, y'all. It was him. I to this day, sometimes I'll just pull up to my salon and I'm just like, God, you the man. And you know, God, it just gets better and better after that. I went to school. I completed it in the, you know, it's a minimum. I mean, you can go to school for however long you want to. Right. So I went, completed my certification, got licensed, worked in a salon for 2 years, and God gave me an opportunity to become a business owner just after 2 years of being in the salon. And the way that happened, I was sharing with Pastor Ann. We always have our little powwows here and there. And real briefly, when I tell people that my business was given to me, it's not an inheritance type thing. Like, I didn't have a family member that had a salon. I was like, oh, my niece is whatever, let me give her my salon. There was a situation where a lady was selling a salon. I inquired about it, and she wanted almost $30,000. She was just giving whoever wanted it, everything in it, chairs, shampoo bowls, everything. Just a ready-made, like they say, a turnkey house, or it was a turnkey salon. So I'm thinking, like, you know, and I learned early on not to ever underestimate God. And he showed me time and time again, so it's not anything that I had to really think back to say he could do. I just know that I said, Lord, if this be your will, let it work in my favor. And I went through the ropes, y'all, family members, y'all, I can get a salon, you know, oh yeah, I can give you this, I can give you that. Oh, great, you know, when the time came, man, and it was okay, because I also understood that in order for God to completely get the glory, it had to be Him. And it wasn't a testament to say that I didn't, my family wasn't capable or maybe not loved it anymore. I understand how God operates. Not all the way, because we never will know, but I do know that in my life and the way He has shown me things, I knew what He was doing. So the young lady that was selling the salon, she had been through a lot. She's in an abusive relationship. The man had money. She was driving these nice cars. She lived in one of the nicest estates in Slidell. She just, you know, really humble individual though. And so when I met her, we hit it off really well. She was a Christian, number one. Amen. And I just was like, wow, you know, this could have been anybody. Yeah. And so the way everything was orchestrated, it's so detailed, but I'm just trying to give you guys the meat of why we're all here today, why all of you all have testimonies, I'm sure, but it's everything is so intricate, and when I tell you all, it's going to blow your mind, because it still blows my mind today. So I told her that I was interested. We went through the ropes. I went to my bank, I went to my credit union, I went everywhere, and it was like, you know, we would love to help you, but right now we just can't. I said, that's okay. I'm transparent. It's fine. Right. Sally Mae still trying to get her money, and that's okay, because, you know, when you try to do other things, Sally be like, hold up. So I was like, you know, it's fine. It's fine. It was well. I love the salon I was working in. It wasn't anything like that. It was just, if it was my season to be elevated, God was going to do just that. So everything fell through. I ended up texting her. I'll never forget. I said, thank you so much for being willing to help me, but right now I just can't do it. And she had two people. One lady had the full amount that she would be able to put in her hand. One lady had a down payment, like a lump sum that she could have given her and just paid over time. I had nothing. Yes. Hallelujah! I texted her and I told her, thank you, but I cannot do it at this time. You know, but I pray that you find someone that would take it off your hands, because the thing was, she didn't even want to be a hairstylist, y'all. She wanted to be a forensic scientist. She went to Paul Mitchell to escape her abusive husband at the time. So God will strategically do things, whether it cannot be so good in other people's lives, all for your purpose for a time to come. I didn't want her to be abused, but that was part of the process for what God wanted to do with me. And it makes sense only if you can catch it. But she got out of that relationship. She's great. She loves Jesus. But she was just trying to get out of that. She was like, I don't want to be a hairstylist, so I need to sell this salon and get out of this situation. And when I told her I could no longer do it, and she told me she had two people that was willing to take it over, she texted me back and she said, I don't know what it is about you, but I want to help you. She said, if you can come up with the next month's lease, it's yours. I was standing in my room and I just looked at my phone and I was shaking, and I texted my sister. I was like, what is she talking about? She said, what do you mean what she's talking about? She's trying to get you a salon. She's like, you prayed for this. What do you mean? You should be in expectancy. God is giving you I was like, no. I said, this is not happening. So she even went on to text me and said, I said, this lady's trying to make me pass out. She said, even if you can't come up with the full lease, I'll give you half. So my question to her, y'all, was why? Why? I'm like, why? She said, I asked God for big things and I have to give big. A week later, me and my favorite little cousin, some people know her because you can tell her, I said she was my favorite little cousin, we went in there the next week, and I've been in business for November will be 5 years. Y'all, I didn't know how I was going to get that first month's lease. But that's just to show you how God works and how He operates. I'm still in business after going on 5 years. He made a way, and He's gonna continue to make a way. And y'all, I just like what I do now. I can't even imagine being a pediatrician. Now I still love the kids. God actually gives me an opportunity to work with children even in my profession. But y'all, beauty is, like she said, from the inside out. But women need to know that you can put your makeup on, you can get your hair done, and still love Jesus. I mean, your image, my thing, and I was sharing with her also, sometimes because how women have been battered and things that they've gone through, they don't feel pretty. That's just the truth of the matter. I deal with this not every day, but every once in a while people will come in and have this heaviness on them. And this, I've been in the house for 6 months and, I lost my job and this and that, but I just told myself I need to get out and do something for myself. And when they come to the salon, it's like they're supposed to be there. And when they leave, it's almost like the glory of God just rests on them. It's not even so much about them being a Christian, but that's just God's way of transforming them, sometimes from the outside in. But, I mean,
I was going to say their obedience. From this story, you can hear it's the obedience, it's the sacrifice, and it's the faithfulness. That's what I'm getting up here. And it's so funny how this is the topic for today, because I'm now in a transitional state where I want to go back to hair school.
Wow.
I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm a single mom, and I don't have no one to watch my daughter on a Saturday. So I've been going back and forth praying. If this is of you, Lord, then let it happen. And I asked Him for a sign. And this week, Pastor Justin and Pastor Ann, they texted me. And they asked me to moderate this. And I said, Lord, honestly, I've been so down. I love Jesus, but I've been down. And I said, Lord, I'm going to do this because they're good people. They're men and women of God. I love beauty. I love image because you've given me the strength to wake up every day, go to work, put my makeup on. And other women need to hear that too. That we are temples of the Holy Spirit. And He wants us to take care of our temples.
Yes, God.
So what you're saying, I just wanted to cry so bad and holding it back. But y'all, this is real. This is real. It's not about me, but it's about y'all too. This is real.
Y'all heard that testimony. She's gonna fulfill her.
This is real. He's real. And it's a public relationship.
Let me speak to that for a second, because when you are in a place where you don't know what you're gonna do, or when you don't know what's gonna happen next, but you know that there's a particular need that needs to be met, right? Here's the other part of the testimony, how God blew the doors off of my life. When this was 2 weeks before, right? 2 weeks before the wedding, and I'm going back to the wedding because I'm a bridal coach. This is my new industry. So this is what I talk about. And so 2 weeks before the wedding, when I got engaged, we were living in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. My husband proposed to me on the anniversary of Katrina because he said, I want to give you new memories. He said, I want to give you new memories. I want to give you new memories. He brought me to New Orleans and proposed to me on the anniversary. This your new memory. Right? Come on. So 2 weeks before the storm, this was 2 weeks before our wedding on September 4th, 2016. I think it was about 2 weeks. Baton Rouge suffered a horrible storm, right? They suffered a storm. Now, as a bride, wherever you live in, that's pretty much where your vendors are. So I get to thinking, what's going on with my vendors? I called the Rolls Royce company. They flooded out. The Rains, the jeweler, his house was flooded, but the jewelry was fine, but we hadn't talked to him. My husband's tuxedos flooded out. The girl who was doing our second line umbrellas, done. Like, I could go on and on and on. So I talked to God. I said, well, we still got a venue. I still got a little gown, a good dress, and I got love in my heart. I got love in my heart. I wanted it to be a certain way, but it is what it is. I'm gonna have a room full of family and friends. We're gonna eat, drink, New Orleans style. Not drink like that. So, I was prepared just for whatever. But one of my mentors, she called me. She said, "Pep, God put it on my heart to tell you, give." And I said, "What you mean?" She said, "Give." I said, "You know, I've been thinking about giving to the people, you know, what's going on in Baton Rouge." She said, "Give." So then I started praying, and God told me, "Give it all."
Yes, all right.
So at the time, I used to be a market manager, and I had access to like Kotex products. I had Tide products in my attic. I had shavers, like razors, all kind of stuff. Told my husband, "Go in the attic, get every single box that we have." He said, "What you doing with it?" I said, "God told me to give. I didn't know who I was giving it to." Watch this. Didn't know who I was giving it to. I see this lady on Facebook. She's doing a Facebook Live. She said, "Hey, y'all, I'm collecting donations for the people of Baton Rouge. Come and drop it off at this location at this time." I've been Facebook friends with this lady for years. Never really interacted with her. You know, I might like a post here or there, but we never met in person. So we load up the car. I bring all of the stuff to her. I come through the door. She said, "Oh, Pep, I know you. You're my Facebook friend." I said, "Yeah, we Facebook friends." You know? I need a little help because I got boxes of stuff. And she said, "Well, what you mean?" I said, "Well, you asked for donations, so here are your toiletries." And she said, "Well, this is a lot of stuff." I said, "I know, God told me to give it all." So she said, "Well, okay, this is great. Tell me about your wedding." Come on.
Have mercy.
Yeah, and I said, "Well, I don't really want to talk about that right now." She said, "Well, no, talk to me. Tell me about your wedding." I said, "Well, most of my vendors lost everything. I don't really know what I'm going to do, but I'm just prepared to get married, right? Because it's not about the wedding. You know, girls, we like the wedding. We like a good wedding. We know that, especially in New Orleans. But I was okay with just being married. But God said otherwise, and because of my obedience. So she says, "Well, tell me what you need." And I said, "Well, we need the limousine company. They got flooded out." She said, "Oh, well, one of my friends own a limo company. What else you need?" Everything I said, this woman checked off. And she said, "Pep, you ain't know I was a wedding planner?" Wow. And I'm going to plug her right now. Celebrations by Centrell. I don't know if y'all know who Centrell is. But she said, "Pep, I'm a wedding planner." And I gave her like an old dirty 10-second She said, "You know what?" She said, "I'm going to bless you. You don't have nothing to worry about." So I'm only using, and we're going to get back to the topic, because it's the topic. I'm using that to say how one thing will trigger a chain reaction of blessing. So sometimes you gotta let the room know what's going on with you, because there might be a lady in here that run a daycare that might say, "Oh, you know what? Your first 3 months might be on the house or even this time." It might be a lady in the room that's looking to mentor somebody your age and say, "Okay, well, I got your first month's tuition for your school." You never know. You never know what God will do. You never know what God will do in your life. So I'm saying that to say, God told me to give it all. I gave it all. And at that time, you know, when you planning, y'all, weddings are expensive. Listen. So the whole idea is that when God said to give it all, I wasn't in a position to give financially. Come on. Because, you know, I'm strapped. I'm keeping it real. My money is tied up because I have to pay for my wedding. But I want you to know everything ain't about money. Everything is not about money. So if God tell you to give it all, he might mean give every single drop of food in your pantry. He might mean give all of your time. I don't know what it means, but it could. I'm just trying to help and bless someone because that's my story. And so I gave it all, and I'm not even going to lie to y'all. It was amazing. And my life has been amazing since then. I've been in magazines. Montelucci Bridal, they came to New Orleans, Louisiana. They called me. We want you to come. We want you to be one of our brides. Since this is your city. This is your city. You're a daughter of New Orleans.
That show you were on with David, the big bridal guy. Yeah.
I got a chance to meet him. I was doing some modeling for a show immediately after my wedding, and it was at the exact same venue that my wedding was held at, and I end up opening and closing a show for David Tutera.
That's a Beverly Hills, right? This is like rich.
But I will tell you something. I learned this a long time ago from a mentor. You don't come empty-handed, right? So for some things, when you got a spirit of expectancy, because I was in the car, I was like, okay, I know that there are certain things I'm doing with my life. And at that moment, I knew I knew I wanted to have a boss bride official. I knew that I wanted other women to experience the same type of blessings through marriage, through the wedding, the whole nine. And I said, man, and we don't worship people at all. Because God is no respecter of persons. He'll put you in position at any time, any place. But we also understand relationships. We also know that it's good to be connected to some people in this life. We know that. We're not going to overlook that. That would be crazy to overlook that. Right? So I said, well, I got to know. I went, got him a little gift. And as soon as I walked through the doors, one of the girls said, David Tutera saw your pictures. And he want to meet you.
But baby, look, what she said, someone told me a long time ago, early in my walk, so where you want to go.
Yeah. And so, long story short, I got a chance. I walked in, I met him. It was amazing. It was wonderful. I'm believing God. You know what? You put yours in the atmosphere. I'm believing God for a reality show about me coaching brides on how to be their best. How to be their best. I'm going to put it out there.
Because we need that. Was it Bridezilla? No Bridezilla. We brides of the King. We brides of goodness. We're brides of righteousness. And that's what comes out of you.
So I'm putting that out there. I'm definitely putting that out there. But to get back to shining from the inside out, I will say, as within, so without. Right? So whatever is on the inside of you is always going to come out. Always. So like, what are we putting in? What music are we listening to? What foods are we eating? What types of people are we hanging around? Because that's going to come up in your everyday life. It's going to come up in your conversation. And it's going to come up in your relationships and in your marriage. Like, do you speak fondly of your husband? Do you say nice things about him? Do you like, I was talking to my mom the other day, and I was like, my husband, he's a great person. And my mom was like, he really is. But I was thinking, I really don't hear too many people say those types of things. So if that's not the language that we're using, let's start using that type of language about our husbands. Let's start, putting it out there from the inside out. So I think for me, I always just look at my life, like I said, I put God at the top, and y'all, when the music come on, when the church music come on, they're like, all right, y'all carrying too long. But I always look at my life. I always look at my life like, you know what? God has always guided me. God has always shown himself in my life. And just keep God first, but to shine from the inside out. Love your selfie. You know what I'm saying? Love your selfie. You know, look in the mirror, love your selfie. And I'm going to close with this on my end. The moments in my life where I felt the most defeated, and I couldn't go on. I would call my dad, and I miss my dad so much. But I would call my dad and I would say, Dad, this didn't happen the way I wanted it to go, or, you know, this particular thing should have went that way. And my dad was a basketball player. He played ball all over the globe. And he would always stop me in my tracks and he would say, remember this, and you're supposed to walk with a certain level of confidence, because I traveled to Jerusalem and I put your name in the wall. And he would always tell me that anytime in life when I was felt like I couldn't, he was like, you can, because your name in the wall. And even if your name not in the wall, God has you. So that's for everybody here, you know, like, God has you.
Can y'all celebrate these women of God? Can y'all celebrate these women of God? Do y'all understand what happened in this? They got questions on there, but I don't even want them to ask them. Because did y'all see what God just did? There was a portion of, and there's something that I actually want you to do. So don't sit down. Don't sit down on God yet. There's something I actually want you to do. But it's so amazing. In Psalm 23 and 5, it says, He prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. And so often we hear conversation about haters and people who are against us, but so often we the enemy. We the one who's tearing the situation down. We are the one who's been naysaying what God said that we are. But I'm so grateful because the women of God have reminded us of how fully equipped we already are. And that table that he's setting in the presence of my enemies oftentimes mean he's still going to set it up for me to win when I talk down about myself until I get to the place where I can celebrate what God is doing. And that's what they just told us about. They walked us through their stories of how people put keys in their hand and they say, we're going to pay half. Don't give me no money. I just want to get you in it. Woman of God just told us, David Tutera, world-renowned bridal expert, designer. Turn on the TV, if you mention bridal, you gotta say David Tutera, and he called her name. But this is why I got you standing, because God is about to perform a miracle before our very eyes. The woman of God had said she had a need. Come with me, Naomi. The woman of God said she had a need. And last night, we heard the word that said, we are above only. And God already told us who we are. We already got over our hearing problem. We already cool with God stretching us beyond our capacity, because we already know that there is more on the inside of us than what can be seen with the natural eye. The woman of God said she wants to go to school, and she came here and said she's looked for a sign. She came here to do a job. I asked her to help me, but in helping me, can you decide that you're going to be the miracle today? This is what I want you to do. There are multiple ones of you in here who are gifted in the area of children. I want you to come and stand next to this woman of God. You already know that God spoke to you, so I even had to tell you what it come stand next to this woman of God, because we about to be the sign. We about to be the wonder. We about to be the miracle. This is somebody who's gonna sow into her for her child.
I need to say this.
Go ahead, sir.
Spirit told me in the back that I need to say this because this is how serious this moment is. About 3 months ago, she put an ad out on Facebook that said she was looking for some ministries that needed to be on TV. And so she put it out there, and somebody from another state tagged me in it. And so I reached out to her, not knowing that Brother Brad Bradford, one of our members, had already been talking to her about it. So then she presented it to me. I knew that right now, financially, we couldn't do that, so we left it alone. But we stayed connected, and I've been watching her posts. God has been allowing her to show up on my timeline almost daily. And so when Pastor told me that she needed somebody to do this session, Holy Spirit said, listen, remember that young lady, Naomi? She's the one that you need to give to Pastor. So I told Pastor, I said, Pastor, you don't know her. I said, I really don't know her, but Brother Brad knows her. He said she's the right person. I'm going to reach out. Pastor said, reach out. I reached out. She said, I got to check and see if I can do this. She said, I need somebody to keep my baby. We said, well, you can bring your baby. God brought her here.
He brought her here.
And so you got to understand that no matter what stands in the way of your miracle, God will move it all out of the way just to position you to get what you need. If there's somebody else that needs to be up here, get up here quick. I heard Sister Holman say, you got to give it all.
You got to give it all.
You got to give it all. Maybe you can't support her one area, but you're willing to sow into her life. Come up here.
That's the next call. Because I want you, Naomi, I want you to look to your right. And I want you to look to your left. You go into school on Saturdays because these women of God got to back you up and have good homes where they worship the Lord and are clean and are good women of God that want to parent to the glory of God. So while you get what God has for you, your daughter is going to be growing and developing to be the woman of God she's supposed to be, because you were unafraid to step out because you didn't understand your capacity, but you came here today willing to sow. So God's got you reaping right now. The next thing, if you are willing to sow into her life, I don't care what it is, but if you are willing to sow into her life, I don't want it for so graceful, because I want us to know that God has anointed us to be the miracle for somebody else. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's $1. I don't care what it is. But I just want us in the company of believers to stand as witnesses that God is going to do what he said he would do. This is a testimony for us all. This is good ground. And this is a holy moment. And I will beseech you not to miss this moment. Because through this sowing, God is reminding us that we are all fertile ground. And that he is going to absolutely do the most. He is absolutely going to do the most. While you're getting what you're going to give, celebrate the Lord. Worship the Lord. Because this is holy ground. And he is fixing your situation. This is a sign for Naomi. But this is a sign for us that God is not through with us. This is a sign to us that our capacity is far being exceeded. And in fact, he is stretching us in order that we can do something bigger. In order that we could do something better. In order that we could do something that our minds have not even conceived. And our ears have not even heard. This is about shining from the inside out. And a representation that God will always remind you that not only are you not forsaken, but that you're not alone. and that He will bring you to your breaking point. Just to show you that wasn't a breaking point at all. It was simply called the beginning. Simply called the beginning.
Because I love Jesus so much. And I call myself a spiritual homie because I walk with the Holy Spirit. But this week the enemy has been on my back. The enemy is on my daughter. The enemy is all around me. I've been trying to go in Jesus' name, but it just wouldn't go. It just wouldn't go. But today is God.
As you all continue to surround Alicia and Pep, I'm going to ask that y'all come stand beside Naomi. I'm going to declare the blessing of the Lord over you all. We can make checks out to Naomi's Gladys, G-A-L-A-T-A-S. Naomi Gladys.
Cause the walls to fall with your power. Perform miracles. There is nothing that's impossible. And I'm standing here only because you made. You move mountains. You cause the walls to fall with your power. Perform miracles. There is nothing that's impossible. And I'm standing here only because you made a way. You made a way. Oh, you made a way. Don't
light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. We worship you. You are here, touching every heart. Touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. I worship you. Because you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. Oh, you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are here, moving in our midst. We worship you. We worship you. You are here, touching every heart. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. Oh, you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. People of God, at this time we're going to release you to go to your lunch and to visit all of the vendors for today. We will reconvene at 12:45. We want to stick to the schedule today. We want to stick to the schedule today. And so I want us to make sure that we are moving quickly. You can still worship. You don't have to leave the room if you don't want to. But we want to make sure that you have the opportunity to get where you need to go. 12:45 is our reconvening time. All of our vendors are at their posts. So please make 12:45. We're going to stay on time. We're going to stay on time, Pastor. Praise God. Listen, even as you go, all right, even as you go, we're just going to continue to release the prophetic over you. We're going to continue to sing over you. We'll continue to worship. We do have someone that has food out there. Gigi's Cooking Spirit. Gigi's Cooking Spirit is out there. Please make sure you get you some food. There is a restaurant here in the hotel. If you want to run across the street to McDonald's, don't get hit. Praise God, be the anointing. Cross the street with an anointing. And then make sure you visit the vendors. So we're going to continue worshiping.
Can I
to interrupt you guys for just one moment, ladies, before you leave. This is a conference that's for ladies, but God put something on my heart. When I went out to the ATM machine to get money out, I'm very particular about how I like my bills. I want all of my bills to face the same way. Well, I got out $60. 2 of the $20 bills came out right side up, and the other one came out and turned upside down. And the Holy Spirit said, you got to give that particular 20, because when you drop it in this box of this lady, it's going to take everything that's turned upside down and turn it right side up. But here's the bigger part of that. This is a ladies' conference, and here I am a man. And God says, because Nina's supposed to be the coverage for the lady, he said, this 20 that you're going to give is really going to be blessed more than the rest of it, because we've got to cover our ladies. And so I'm sowing it because she's going to be covered. It's going to multiply more than she can ever imagine and see. Because God is already in the midst of it right now.
Because you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 'Cause you are